Today is for those who have thought about purchasing a home for themselves based upon their own cash flow, or just simply becoming an investor. So I'm introducing today Bryan Harris, one of the owners of homes410k.com.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, Bryan.
Hello.
Welcome back, Bryan. How you
Thank you.
I like your energy.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I love your energy, brother.
Awesome.
And his beautiful wife is in the studio with us.
She said, just say hey.
I know.
Hi.
That's Miss Maria. But Bryan, go on. I'm sorry, Beth. What were you saying?
No, we're gonna ask Bryan. Okay, so people can get wealth through getting homes, Bryan. Let's talk a little bit about
Yes, ma'am. I'll just say a little bit about it. It just kind of, I think one of the things that I learned early on, I'm 35 years old now, and I got started investing in real estate probably about 11 to 12 years ago. I was about 24, 25 years old. And one of the things that I learned is, we can work our butts off for the dollar, but one of my mentors at the time told me that if I wanted more income, don't go work for it. He said, go buy it. And so he told me to buy the income that I wanted by buying assets that produce the cash flow. And so, of course, from there, I'm like, okay, what can I buy that produces cash flow? He said, the foundation of your wealth pyramid is real estate. And so from there, I was just like, man, I got to do it. I was scared. I was, didn't know what the steps to take. But I think it was MLK that said, you may not can see the whole staircase, but just take the first step. And that's what I did.
Yeah. So thinking about that, acquiring wealth, you didn't probably even think about real estate.
Right. No, not at all. I had started when the thought came to mind about real estate. My mom and dad had told me about it when I was younger. And I remember them making some attempts at it, but not anything just, massive. And so I went to Houston High School, and a lot of the friends that I made at Houston High School, their fathers and their parents were in real estate, and I'm seeing them go home to these big, huge houses, and I'm like, man, what does your daddy do? So,
what?
Right, and so, real estate. And you hear that over and over and over again. So, and I believe that if any one person can, do it, that's proof that another man can too, And so I stood on that, and I went after it. I started reading books.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, Bryan, so what is the first step? You just didn't go, when he told you real estate, can go get some real estate.
Right.
So you started by reading books.
Right.
Broadening your education on
Exactly. I found a couple mentors, and I found my mentors through books. Back then, social media and YouTube wasn't what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, anything that we want to learn, we can go to Google, find a video on it, and learn how to do it. So it's a little bit easier now, but I found a couple books that taught me about real estate. I wanted to know, what did I need to do? Of course, everybody probably knows about Robert Kiyosaki. If you don't know him, get that book. It's a foundational tool that you can read.
Could you slow down? Tell us that again. What is it?
Okay, I know. I get excited.
What book? And is this the book that they need if they're going to become an investor, or if they just want to live their dreams?
Well, can I briefly mention what it's about? Okay, the book, one that I recommend is called The Cashflow Quadrant. It talks about the Cashflow Quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki. And in the Cashflow Quadrant, he talks about how everyone generates income from these 4 different quadrants. Okay, I'm going to briefly explain it. These 4 different quadrants. He said the first quadrant, look at a line in the middle and a perpendicular line that's going in. And you got the first quadrant over at the top left. It's called the E quadrant. It stands for employee. He said that's nothing wrong with being an employee, but that's a person that trades their time for money. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. And so he said, now go to the bottom of that left side, and you have the S quadrant. That stands for the self-employed person. That's the person that, hey, I'm going to start a business, and if I want it done right, I'm going to do it myself. Nothing wrong with this, but that's more like a barber or a person that has a lawn service. If I got to go get the dollar, I got to go cut the grass. I got to cut the hair or whatever. Or even a doctor. A doctor or a lawyer could be, a S quadrant. But he said those are considered the left side of the quadrant. And then he said over on the right side of the quadrant is where you want to pay more attention to if you want to build wealth. He said you have the B quadrant at the top right. He said the B quadrant stands for the big business owner. That's the person who can be out on the golf courses, but they put a system in place, and by that from out of the country. People from all over the world come here on a daily basis and buy Memphis real estate. We're in the hottest real estate market in the world. Wow. I hear a lot of people complain about Memphis and say, I love this city, but it's like people say, man, it's no money here. You're standing on the money. The diamonds are in your own backyard.
So what you're saying is, that practically speaking, at least with my investment.
Can I say this real quick? The lady, she said, when she said, "Why don't people here buy these properties?"
Okay. Right. So what you're saying is the way that the wealth is being built is by becoming the landlord. Because we're in yeah, that's right. Because we're in a city in which a lot of individuals rent.
Right.
And so I believe that people do not become landlords because they don't have the mindset of a self-employed individual nor a big business. So they're not only are they stuck on the left side, but they're stuck in the upper left quadrant under the E.
Right.
And so in order to make that shift from being an employee to even being an S, we got to shift the mindset. And so that's where we're starting with today. So tell me about the houses that you have.
Well, the houses in Memphis, Tennessee that we acquire, I mean, we get a lot of off-market real estate. So you have real estate agents that list properties on the MLS. Well, when we acquire properties, we don't necessarily list them on the MLS. And so our properties, when you go to homesfor10k.com, you won't see them listed anywhere else, but they're anywhere from $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. Now they're in as-is condition. They need work. They need attention. They need.
Okay, so hold on. Let's slow down. Let's just slow down.
Bryan gets excited.
Yeah,
I like that. He's excited, and I like that, and that's great. That's fabulous. Go on. So slow down.
Yeah. Okay.
Slow down.
No, because what he's saying is really good knowledge because they'll be able to get these homes for $5,000, $10,000. What's some of the, do you have anything lower than $5 or they all?
I mean, we bought properties for $500. Me and my wife.
Right. I didn't want to.
From $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. Now they're in as-is condition. They need work. They need attention. They need.
Okay, so hold on. Let's slow down. Let's just slow down.
Bryan gets excited.
Yeah,
I like that. He's excited, and I like that, and that's great. That's fabulous. Go on. So slow down.
Yeah. Okay.
Slow down.
No, because what he's saying is really good knowledge because they'll be able to get these homes for $5,000, $10,000. What's some of the, do you have anything lower than $5 or they all?
I mean, we bought properties for $500. Me and my wife.
Right. I did not want to say that. We're going to get to that in a minute. Somebody has a question online about capital. Okay. So when you're talking about limited capital, so we do have properties that are for $500, but at the same token, they're an as-is. So that means that they do need to have some level of capital to be able to invest. So what Bryan is sharing with you is right now, if you're in the E status, you are an employee, but you're getting ready to get $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $7,000 in your tax return. You can take those funds and you can invest in property. Yes, we would love for you to call Bryan. Yes, I would love for you to call me. But just listen, you do not have to call us. You can call whomever you like, find the property that you like. And guess what, you guys? A lot of you, the investment opportunity is already in your family. You have great-grandmama's house. Isn't that true, Bryan? You had great-grandmama's house that's been sitting there for 20 years, and you know this. No one has even been over there. You take your tax return money, and you can go over there and straighten out that property, get a new roof, put new flooring in, call somebody like Anderson Construction or Donnell Woods Construction Company, and then they can come in and rehab that place for the money that you got, and then you become a landlord.
Right.
So I think that's the first step, is to simply decide that you are not going to be impoverished all your life. You're going to get from this left side to this right side. You got to be able to read put books, put in the work, and put in the money. Now, someone is saying, well, what if they have limited resources? Are there loans out there, or do they really just need to save their money to get to that place?
Can you hold that thought?
Yes. Pay the sponsors.
Y'all moving fast. Hold that thought.
What need to do? This is your plan of action. All I would need to do, and let's just do it over 4 or 5 years.
And I want to know how many houses I need.
That's what I'm about to do.
All right.
So if my expenses are $2,000 a month, the average rent here in Memphis is about $500 to $550.
Okay, let me get out my pen.
You buy a $3,000 or $4,000 house. That house will rent out for $500, $550 all day long.
Okay, so stop. Hold.
And I'm getting excited, man.
All right,
see, Bryan, you have to take a step by step. Okay. So Bryan, I see this house.
Okay.
So and that says I can buy for I got this $500.
Right.
Okay, so Once I say I'm gonna buy this house for $500,
Okay.
then what's the next step?
Okay, the next step is you once again you kind of want to have a person or a mentor, and we do mentoring. You know,
Yeah,
we don't
okay,
really
right.
charge
And you need that.
Yeah, you need a person, a blueprint that mimic what they've done. So now you get a couple trustworthy crews. We have several ones like Xavier, Jason. All these guys are amazing, plumbing, electricians, and so I know that it's not going to cost X amount of dollars. It's going to cost the same range, the worst of the worst condition. So I'm going to give me a couple electricians and plumbers to go take a look at it, and they're going to give me a nice quote. Okay,
Oh, that's good.
And my quote
Okay.
is based upon volume. So when I'm building my relationship with my rehab crews, hey, this is going to be one of 1,000.
So here's my question. Okay, so first, Bryan, you're saying you see a house you want. Get you your construct people who are gonna look at it to let you know, Bryan, this is going, or Bev, this you're gonna have to fix this up or do this.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying,
exactly right.
Okay.
So, not the negative person. Oh, you got to do this.
Right.
But the person who says all you have to do is this and this and this.
Right.
A good person who has credibility with some other person that have used them is what I recommend. Don't just go get a jackleg because he's cheap.
Yeah, because
right?
you don't want that.
You don't want that. You'll end up spending more money on a jackleg more so than everybody knows what that means. As a person who's honest and reputable. And so once you do that and you find out what that quote is going to be, I may buy that house for $500, $5,000, whatever it is, and I may not have the money to fix it up at the time. But guess what? I got a house and I can get some tax breaks on it, and for me as well. So I can put that money over there until I get to the point where I can pay to get it fixed up, or when I get a little money at a time, I can go towards fixing up the house. So it doesn't have to be a right now. Just get in the game. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I like that. We got to we got to hold.
Okay.
Bryan is giving us an education.
Yes, he is.
This morning, and we're talking real estate, and we're talking bankruptcy today, and this is some great information for all of you all who all say you want to be an entrepreneur. Well, this is another way, right, Bryan? Become an entrepreneur. 535-9342 is our number. 1-800-5